Yeah, can you see the screen now? Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Um, I just want to welcome you to our annual general meeting of the African chapter of the American Academy of Optometry. So before we start with anything, I think we need to open with the word of prayer. May I ask Bernardine to open the meeting with the word of prayer?
Okay, thank you. Let's pray. We'd like to commit this meeting this evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where you're joining from, to God. We ask God to take control of this meeting, guide us to be able to come up with very impactful resolutions. And at the end of the meeting, whatever we have agreed, we'll be able to implement them fully. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you, everyone, for joining. This meeting is an annual general meeting. It gives us a opportunity as the chapter, African chapter of the American Academy of Optometry, to provide an overview of our activities, collaboration, strategic initiative that has been undertaken during the past year or from the last time that we had an AGM up to now, as well as the priorities for the year ahead. And we all know that we are going to have our annual, annual meeting of the mother body, which is the American Academy of Optometry, uh, end of September in Anaheim. So we need to have this annual general meeting so that we can also report our activities during the president's meetings there in Anaheim. So without wasting time, I think what we'll do, here's the agenda. So we'll have the confirmation of the agenda. Then afterwards, we'll have the Air Force president, who is going to give us the goodwill message. And also, I will ask the Air Force president to introduce his executive. Then we'll have the president's report, the secretary's report, treasurer's report, and then we'll talk about the different committees. Then we have the Q&A, questions and answer session. Thereafterwards, we'll have the breakout session, which is very, very important because it will give us strategies for the coming year. Then we'll have the report back from those breakout sessions. And then we'll talk about the Anaheim 2026 preparation. Number 12 is any other business. And number 13 will be the closing prayer. Before I go to number 3, can I ask if ever there is anybody who anybody who's got any other business for number 12? May they please write that on the charter on the chat box. And then also the other thing, we'd like everybody to introduce themselves on the chat box. And if ever you got a question, please wait and write it on the chat box, and all will answer that afterwards. Thank you. The other thing, I would like everyone to have their audio muted so that we do not have, because this meeting is being recorded, so that we don't have any interferences. Please do mind that. Mute your audio, and then only those who will be called to talk will have their audio on. So without wasting time, I want to ask the president of AFOS to give the goodwill message. Over to you. Moses, can you unmute yourself? Moses?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Good evening, everyone. I want to confirm if I can be heard.
Yes, you can be heard, Moses.
Yes,
All
you.
right, all right. Thank you, sir. All right. Good evening, everyone, once again. First and foremost, I am really, really very grateful that we are invited to join in this meeting on behalf of VFOS. We are very, very grateful. Thank you so much for this great opportunity. All right, my name is Moses Adetoro. I am the president of the African Federation of Optometry Students, and I will give, in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to introduce some of my executives that are present here. Um, Hope Tracy is the Secretary General for IFOS. She is currently on this call. I have Kosi Sochuku Ume, who is the Academic Director for IFOS, and she's currently on this call too. Very briefly, I'm going to tell you about what we do at AFOS, which of course I want to believe that we all know, but in this manner, in a way we have actually not um thought about it in recent times. That since we got into the office after we've taken the administration about 2 months ago, May 28th specifically. So I am going to start with a bit of introduction of AFOS. We are going to discuss about some of the achievements we've been able to do, the current ones we are currently working on, and the future ones that are very much in sight. So I want to confirm again if I can be truly heard. So I am well followed.
Yes, Moses, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. All right. So IFOS is committed to, as always, we are committed to providing a platform for optometry students. It was founded to empower optometry students across the whole of Africa to become leaders in innovation, to become leaders in research and collaboration, while contributing to one of our greatest goals, contributing to the global conversation on eye care, even as optometry students in Africa. Right, we are committed to providing a platform for optometry students to develop leadership, entrepreneurial, and professional skills that are very important and paramount to their success in the evolving field of optometry. We have the continuous mission, of course, to foster collaboration among students, advocate for policy changes that will favor us and that will put us in a position to impact our own very world, to provide the resources for student development, including scholarships, mentorship, opportunities, peer collaboration, and access to all of these things I have just mentioned. Right. Before now, we've established a very strong partnership with Vosh. We've done that with Academics. We've done that with Canadian Vision Care to support student engagement and service outreach. Right, we've been able to establish new SVOS chapters before now. Right, we've been able to establish before now new voice chapters. By God's grace, also we've been able to have our students attended. They've attended some of the professional body for optometry conferences, and some of them are South African Optometry Association's centennial celebration. They've attended the Nigerian Optometry Association AGM and slash the African Council of Optometry, which we did this year. I think about 2 years ago too, we were able to have some of our representatives at the Optometry Association of Uganda while they held the AFCO conference also. As I earlier said, our partnership with academics has really yielded a lot, and we've had testimonials from students who were beneficiaries of this. Currently, we of course have our plans to meet with various global organizations also, partner with them, see where optometry students in Africa can have their seat there, have their say there, and contribute meaningfully to the conversations you are holding. And some of these are the WCO at first, the IEPP, the GOPHA, to create awareness of the role of optometry students in the global professional in research space and advocate for students and even intern optometrists at that. At the last AFCO meeting that we went to, quite a lot happened, and even at such, we were able to make significant strides. Situations of I really want to appreciate the executive, the one of my executives, that two of them actually that were present with me, and I think one of them is currently on this call. That's Ume Kosisochuku. We were able to meet quite lots of big, very big organizations in the eye care sector. We told them about AFOS and they were so happy. Talking about hearing AFOS for the first time, and they were quite surprised. Some of them were even trying to tell us that, wow, this is the first time they are hearing it. They've been expecting students to reach out to them. They are ready to partner with you guys. They are ready to, we are very much ready to empower you guys. And some of them, Canada Opticals, we met Aventra, we met Icon, we met quite a lot of them. And just at the conference also, we were able to meet up with some of the Optometry Association president, like the South African president, which we even spoke about here. She was very, very happy about it. We were able to meet some delegates from Ghana also. We met delegates from Sierra Leone. We met delegates from Sierra Leone. We met a particular optometrist who once worked with Togo. And by God's grace, some of these organizations we've pressed forward to establish the right partnership with these guys to help optometry students in Africa. Right? It was a really productive conference for the African Federation of Optometry Students, and we are currently just on the lookout for opportunities to that. And then we were able to meet drug feed pharmaceuticals. AbbVie is a brand that I personally, as an optometry student, I have always been trying to, okay, let's see what we can do. And just right there at the AFCO conference, I met the representative just yesterday. I spoke with her, and she's currently arranging a meeting between us and the leadership of AbbVie on how we can get to curate together and devise together from their hand and from our hand as a student body programs that the optometry students will benefit from in Africa. Canada Opticals, they even told me that in Ghana they have been quite instrumental to their growth also, and they would really love to extend that to other African optometry students. So this is to explain to us about how vibrant the association is, how promising our future is, how opportunities, if shown to us rightly, we can harness it for it to spread to other students organizations, right, or other student bodies here in Africa. Just some minutes back, I met with optometry students from Uganda, and they were telling me about in the whole of Uganda we have less than 75 students there, and having 75 students in the whole of the country, I think we should expect that they are being taught quite well, right? Yesterday, again in South Africa, I had a meeting with some of the student representatives, and they were telling me of how even in a country of 4 schools, they are not all using the same curriculum. So there's disparity in the quality of education the school is getting here and the school is getting there. So these are some of the things as a student body we want to bridge, right? Clinical trainings that we can offer to these guys, right? I know of Obis through cyber site. They have some of these courses that they give out to train students, right again at the AFCO conference right here in Abuja. I met a particular organization that supply and make instruments. And I told them, most of these instruments you have here, if at all we have one in our school, it's always been locked up somewhere and we do not have access to training. So I spoke with him. We spoke about, okay, how about you use your instrument, your modernized instrument, train our students, right? And it's something they even agreed on. So it's something even as the student body, we have grown, we have tried to the opportunities around us that we've been able to harness even as student body. We've tried to use it as prudent as possible to empower ourselves. So this is always pointing us to something that, as promising optometrists coming up, it's something we really encourage the optometrists out there to empower our students. There is great gain in that. And I want to use this moment again before I round up to appreciate what some of these optometrists have been doing, right? Right where when we were going for the AFCO conference, we had some challenges which were quite financial. You know how consequential it was when we eventually attended, right? We got donations from some of these optometrists. Dr. Levi helped us in that, got reached out to some of his friends, and it was even just today we were discussing about really appreciating these people. Just the little, just the much they could help us as optometry students in Africa has really gone a long way, right? There was a time I held a meeting with presidents of optometry association here in Africa, and they were telling me about a lot. They were telling me about some of them we that have an established voice chapter. They were talking about voice, how voice has done this and done that, and then the other ones who have probably they have not even heard of voice or probably just heard of voice. They were so hungry and very ready to have voice chapters get in touch with them. So it's something that it was a great moment to let them know that, okay, this is a community of optometry students where we can know what is deficient in student associations in different countries, right? We looking at Nigeria now. Nigeria have over 15 schools with about 4,000 optometry students here in Nigeria, right? If we are going to check on how very well to help students, right? From statistics, I think mathematically we might want to, in a way, ignore what they are doing over there in Uganda because they have just 76 students. But optometry students, African Federation of Optometry Students, we want to ensure that no matter how little they are very well represented, and not just represented, recognized and considered for opportunities that we even in Nigeria we get. So this is what we have been building. This is what we are currently building, and so much more we are to build. Right? I was able to last week Sunday. I met with a particular stakeholder in ECOWAS, and I spoke with him. Told him about EFOS. I got to know about West African Health Organization, which is the health sector for the WHO, the global WHO, right? And optometry students currently do not have any seat in any of these things. They have their own health initiatives, they have their youth initiatives which we do not have access to. So I spoke with him. He told me that, okay, he's going to get back to me just this week on how I can get to meet their leadership. I'm very glad that I'm here in Abuja. So some of these guys I've been able to meet with them. About 1 month ago or so, I spoke with the regional coordinator for African Center for Disease Control, that's ACDC, told him about what we are doing in Africa as optometry students. He was very happy, told me to stay in touch, and we currently have proposals to send to all of these global organizations to ensure that optometry students are involved in all of these things. In Nigeria, permit me to say that we are to a very great extent doing so well. Right here in Nigeria, in Abuja, February, that's about 3 4 months ago, we were able to meet the Minister of Youth and Development here in Nigeria. We were able to incorporate NOSA into the national health policy here in Nigeria. We want to ensure that all of these great strides and feats we are doing here in Nigeria spreads across all other optometry student associations. When I had this conversation with this particular doctor from Togo, even as a doctor, she was telling me about how optometry students in Togo are much more like opticians, training them to be one. And I'm in my heart, I'm just so burning to reach out to them. Let's see what they are doing and see how well we can encourage and help them in the very great way we can. So once again, all of these things are just the very little things we can do from the support we have gotten from the likes of Dr. Levi. I have met Dr. Prof. Tuani quite a lot of times, very supportive to the student community. I've met so many of these professors and doctors here, the way they have supported the student community. So if this is amplified in a very much bigger way, we can see how very well this can even get, how better it can get for us as optometry students in Africa. So we are always very, very ready to accept and work on proposals, work on opportunities, get these opportunities, see how it can benefit us, and know that we are not just getting these opportunities for our benefit, but to empower ourselves to be a valuable person, valuable student, and eventually a valuable future optometrist, and eventually get to the exact places, the exact seats, speak at the exact rooms where optometry and the optometrist needs to be heard. So once again, I really want to appreciate the support we have gotten from the African chapter of the American Association of Optometry. We really, really appreciate. We have explained how very well, even at the level of the support we have gotten, the things we were able to do. If peradventure we are able to get even much more from you and even from other continental professional bodies for optometry, there is so much more we can achieve together. So once again, I really appreciate, on behalf of the African Federation of Optometry Students and my executives, we are really, really grateful to the African chapter of American Association of Optometry. Thank you very much for having me. My name remains Moses Adito. Thank you all.
Yes, thank you, the president. The African chapter of AAO supporting the students because we believe and we also encourage early career engagement of these students with the fellows, and also as a plan for succession. So we are happy that we have a leader who is going to take over and become a fellow, and optometry is in good hands. Thank you, Moses. We do have, let me acknowledge some of our guests um, who are here. We have Prof. Kovin Naidu. He's always say that he's the guru of optometry. He is the advocate, cater for optometry in Africa and all over the world. Welcome, Prof. Kovin. We have also Prof. Chikwu from the USA. He's also a friend and also part of the African chapter of the American Academy of Optometry. We do have also Maria Moria, who is the Voice International Executive and she has been very supportive to this chapter. We are very thankful. So other people, when I see you online, I'm going to, oh, okay, we have the registrar of optometry in Nigeria. I think that is Dr. Um, Obina. Uh, Dr.
Yeah.
Obina, uh, thank you. And we are really honored to have you among us. And also to say that you are also the fellow. Um, Being a regulator and being a fellow is a plus to us. Um, Currently, we have people from Nigeria, Uganda, USA, Riyadh, Somalia, UK. I will acknowledge other people. So now let's go to the president's report.
Yeah, thanks, Wani. I think thank you for anchoring this program, and thanks to everybody who have made time to be here. I will just quickly share my slides while we speak. Okay. Look, I think it's really a good time to be catching up today, and welcome everybody who joined us today. This is our first AGM for 2026. And I think we're excited because of the strides and achievements that we have had as a group, which without you guys wouldn't be possible. So I also want to pay my respect to the traditional owners of the land where I'm sitting today, the Wiradjuri people. It's a tradition in Australia to recognize the privilege that we are given to work in this land. You know, this land is owned by the indigenous people. We do pay our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and we'll extend that respect to everybody here who is attending this meeting, because without that, I will not be presenting to you today. So, I welcome you to this meeting. Now, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Evening for those joining from different places. It's both a privilege today and a profound honor to welcome you to the annual general meeting of the American Academy of Optometry African Chapter 2026. This year's theme, I've tagged it from participation to influence, Africa's time to lead. This is for various reasons, because we weren't seen as a significant component of the academy up until the onset of this chapter. And this chapter has changed the game for everyone, for the academy board, for the optometrists across Africa, for all of us here who attend, and for the new fellows as well. So last year, I spoke about the vision for an African chapter that is united by excellence. Excellence in clinical care, education, research, leadership, and for service. Today, I stand before you humbled by how much we have achieved together. This has been more than a year of activity for all of us. It has been a year of transformation. Our chapter has no longer simply participate in academy. We are shaping the future of the academy. I want to share with you a little about the spread of this chapter membership. And this is from the report that we got from Jerome. Thank you for putting this together, because he manages our database. I just so you know how this chapter has evolved. You could see on this graph here that we are heavily concentrated in two West African countries. This is something we are intentionally trying to change, to diversify membership. We are cognizant of the fact that people in North Africa, the Francophone countries, do not often have these representatives across the board for various optometry groups. I mean, the reasons are very obvious. Language barrier is one of the issues, and again, accessibility as well to those associations. But through efforts and other organizations, we've been able to reach out to the student body, and from that student body, we're now able to speak to leaders of optometry in those countries. And so we're trying to see a trickle effect of them coming into the chapter and getting to know what's happening in the global space. Just so you know, they really want to be part of these discussions, that they haven't seen the opportunity where they can understand and go with us. Like you're speaking now, somebody from Cameroon may be here, but difficult to understand what we are saying. So technology is really evolving, and we think there'll be time when there'll be dynamic transmission as you're talking, things are being translated so they can also participate in discussions like this. So we are really making efforts to see how we can represent those countries in our space. Now you could see the breakdown of countries that are part of this chapter. Uh, no single country outside the three of the big countries here stands out in this group. So besides the previous slide, you could see there's equal representation across other countries in Africa, be it Zambia, Uganda, Malawi. We have people who had a fellow join from Algeria 2 years ago. He might be on this call as well. We've got people from Tanzania. And recently, we do have some Africans who are practicing in countries like USA, India, Pakistan, also joining us as chapter members. So that's why you could see those countries represented in this slide. Now, we also compare the WhatsApp group versus the database registrars that we have. You can see that approximately 36.5% of the WhatsApp community are represented in our membership database. That speaks volume because many of these are not fully documented on our database. And I do encourage anyone in this group who have not completed a database file or form, please do so, because that database gets sent to the academy and it's also going to be hosted on the website where all the members and contact lists can be traced. So we do want to see you represented in that form. So if you haven't done that, please reach out to Jerome, who is on this call, or send an email to the African chapter. We can send you the form so you can put in your details as well. We don't want everybody to be seen as part of this group and belong to that group as well. Now, the ratio gender split is not too far apart. They're similar ratio, but with slight predominance of females than males in this group. And that tends to cut abroad across all optometry research that we've seen, where female representatives is often a little bit higher than the male. So that's similar thing that you're seeing on this group as well. So we've got about 335 members that are on the database, but up to 900 plus on our WhatsApp group. There's a lack of capturing that data in our team. So please make effort to reach out to us. Now, just on this, I just want to speak to us about leadership, because for me, leadership is not measured by the titles that we often come up with, the titles attached to our names. It's measured to me by the service. One of our proudest achievements this year has been establishing and strengthening our committee structure. Now, what was once the work of a few has become the responsibility of many people. Our committees have now created new opportunities for collaboration, improved communication, effective accountability, strengthening the way we cooperate between groups, and has allowed more members across Africa to contribute meaningfully to every committee meeting and the roles that we play. I want to thank all the committee members who are here for their dedication and vision, for coming up with such great ideas each time to really enhance the services that we provide as a chapter. So that's how you've seen most of the things we've done this year have been a bit different and more effective and cohesive, because these groups are working really hard to make sure that we have an improved chapter experience for everyone here. Now, one lesson is increasingly clear as we go along as a chapter. The greatest investment that we can make as a chapter is not in the programs we create. There's lots of them out there. For me, it is about the people that we empower in those programs. We strengthen our commitment to mentorship through the Academy Mentorship Program this year, with experienced fellows investing in the next generation of optometrists. We enhanced the mentorship skill set. They had to go through an academy mentorship program. So we strengthened their own mentorship skills through these trainings. And then they were able to impact on the mentees, effectively as well. I mean, one of our proudest moments as well could be seen where we see those experienced fellows voluntarily spend evenings conducting mock oral exams. The amount of time and and reading that this group had to do to be able to read through all your case reports for those who participated in that case, come up with their questions, get answers ready, and again, meet regularly as a group to make sure that that experience is really what every optometrist want to have in this group was really enormous. I can't thank them enough. This group was led by Damian Echendo, assisted by Professor Dego Chibu, and other members who are here as well. So please, I will ask everybody in this group if you can give a thumbs up on this chat, raise a hand, clap your hand, because this particular group has worked really, really hard to keep this chapter at the level that you're seeing us perform at the academy. So please, I want to thank them all, and I do applaud you to also do the same, because we cannot ask for anything better than what this group has done. And there's a second phase of that coming up next week. You experience what they go through if you become part of that group to see the kind of work that these guys do. So I'm really proud of what we've achieved together as a group. Now, on the professional excellence, I don't think we should limit the way we promote optometry and their excellence in activities by the geography that people are placed. I listened to Moses speak today. There are so many other people outside of Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa who really crave for this opportunity. So for us, they shouldn't be limited by just how far they are located from these other countries that are seen to do excellent in so many things. We saw remarkable enthusiasm from African candidates who prepared for oral exams. They were matched by fellows who volunteered as mock panelists. We hosted a diplomat workshop to demystify one of the Academy's highest qualifications. And through advocacy, we achieved significant reduction in registration fees. This has never happened before. The diplomat positions were very protected by the Academy, but they've met with us, they've seen the enthusiasm, they listened to our calls, and they yielded to say, look, we're going to drop this registration fees by 75%. What a remarkable change, so that anyone who is restricted by the amount they have to pay to go through the diplomat fellowship, which is a very rigorous part itself, will then not see cost as a burden, as a barrier to doing that. So we've sort of worked together with the Academy to reduce that burden for anyone interested in going through the diplomat program. Similar gains were also recorded in the Flum Leadership Academy program, which also saw a reduction in fees for anyone interested in doing that. And we're trying to remove all these barriers so we can create more opportunities for those who are interested in going through these programs. And for us, creating opportunities transforms people. It transforms the life of people who are given those opportunities to build, and our profession benefits in all these parameters. So I think it's something really worthy to commend this chapter for what they've done. Every generation for me stands on the shoulders of those who came before. This year, it was a privilege to support the reinstatement of the fellowship status of two pioneers of African optometry profession, Kovin Naido and Professor Sam Wanjihan. Through fellowship fee waivers, it would have been just easy to simply acknowledge these pioneers in this meeting. But for me, I believe our appreciation should be demonstrated through action. That was why we had to move forward to make sure that these individuals continue to play the role they play in the global space, even in this little chapter that we belong. Their leadership, scholarship, and lifelong service have inspired countless optometrists across our continent. And I do want to appreciate them for taking that step to work with us to make sure that they still remain in this space, because we do need them. We need them for their knowledge, for their expertise, for the roles that they play across the globe, advocating for optometry anywhere you see them. So thank you all. Thank you, Kovin and Sam, for even agreeing to continue to be there, because I know, you've gotten to the climax of the profession. And I don't think there's anything more we could do than to make sure that that knowledge is transferred to the younger ones, people like us, like Moses, like many of us on this call, to see what we can do, take that leadership stride towards to the new generation that are coming behind us. So I do appreciate your time here. Now, for the chapter again, African optometry has continued to gain international recognition. Our members are publishing in leading journals, presenting on international platform, serving on academic committees, contributing evidence that informs clinical practice. Now, recent evidence you could see published by by a group of researchers in Ghana have shown that 8 of the top 10 African researchers in optometry are in this group, and many of them are on this call. That is the breadth of wisdom and expertise that we've got. But perhaps our greatest achievement this year uh, is no longer working in isolation. We've been collaborating with groups, bodies, doing research, universities, clinicians across the world, researchers, student bodies, international partners like Vosh. I could see Maria on this call as well. We've really expanded our horizon to make sure that we can include anyone that will support optometry in Africa to grow to where we want it to be. So this is really a renewed call for anyone who is here today, that this chapter is going to something bigger, and we do need you to be on board. What are that expertise that you've got? What are those networks that you have to leverage upon? Call upon them. This is time to really showcase Africans' initiative and our goals as well. We want to collaborate with people. When Africa collaborates, for me, Africa succeeds. We cannot build this without other team members playing different roles. Yeah, just continuing on Moses' conversation. I mean, for me, a successful organization prepares those who will lead tomorrow. We have created opportunities for students to learn, connect, and present at conferences and engage with leaders. At the last academia, our chapter advocated for successful student inclusion in the International Committee membership of the American Academy of Optometry. That was accepted by the board, and they encourage students to become student members. Once they become student members, they'll be a representative of this country students, representatives in the Academy Board for International Committee. That's a significant stride because we want those voices to be heard. We make laws for students to follow. We create rules. But what if we involve those whose rules will guide their development to be part of that decision making? That's where the students' rules as well for us breaks that barrier for me. So I think this is more than not just a community, but it's a membership growth for us. It can reshape the optometry landscape in Africa. We cannot do this alone. Our students need your support. The future of optometry in Africa is not something we wait for. It is something we build together. And with these students, we can create something unique. That when we leave here, somebody else could stand on this stage. Be Levi that you're seeing tomorrow. Be Tuwani that you're seeing the next day. Be Colvin that you're seeing the next day. They can't be those persons. They can't be those individuals without mentorship or without support in leadership. So we do need them on board. And I do advocate for that to be included in every meetings that we hold as an optometry profession because they need their voices to be heard. As we enter another year, our ambition grows. We will expand our membership across Africa. We'll strengthen committees and leadership pathways. We'll create more mentorship opportunities. We'll encourage greater participation of people in fellowship and diplomat programs. We want to increase African representation within academic committees and scientific meetings. We want to build stronger partnership with universities, professional associations, and international organizations. Most importantly, we'll ensure every African optometrist, regardless of where they practice, regardless of where they live, have access to opportunities for learning, leadership, and professional growth. So we don't want to be limited by borders anymore. We want to move beyond those limits and go to achieve things as a group. The African chapter is no longer defined by its size. It is defined by the purpose that we share. We are building a community where excellence is shared, where mentorship is expected, where leadership is developed, where knowledge is passed on from one group to another. We want to build collaborations that replace competition, where success creates opportunity for someone else. When we climb that ladder, we want to leave the rope so somebody else can climb. That is the chapter we are trying to build, and that's why we are all together on this call. To our chapter leadership, I want to sincerely appreciate all of you. Thank you for believing in Africa and supporting our continued growth. When this whole chapter started, this whole issue started, a lot of people didn't know that we'll go this far. But look at us today. Look at the number of people you've mentored. Look at the number of cases you've been able to put through within this time. Look at the excellence that we are now showing in the academy level. We'll become a player that the academy cannot ignore anymore. Our partners include Vosh International and all organizations that have invested in our vision. In this Anaheim, we're hosting another big party where the African party has become a talk in the entire academy section. So we're going to do the same this year. We'll be there with our attire, showcasing who we are, and we'd love to dance and eat and have fun and enjoy communication together. That same faith we'll be seeing today at the academy. in 2026. To every mentor, committee member, volunteer examiner in this call, any researcher educator that is pushing forward research in Africa, and the student group here, thank you. Thank you for your commitment in transforming our profession across the continent. And I really want to end this call today by leaving you with these thoughts. Your organizations are not remembered for meetings they held, how many AGMs we've held, how many reports we've produced for the academy. We are remembered for the lives we have changed. Together, we are changing lives as a group. We are changing careers. We are changing institutions, and together we are changing the future of optometry in Africa. Join us in that journey. If you become a fellow this academy, find something you can do for us. Find a niche. What is your expertise? If it's communication, building mentorship group, building platforms, let us know. We want to involve everyone. There's always room for mentorship. And I want to appreciate everyone for the time given to us. Let's continue to lead with humility. Let's continue to serve with excellence. Continue to mentor with generosity, not expecting a return in investment. Let us continue to ensure that Africa's voice is not only heard within academy, but helps shape the future of the academy itself. And with you in that journey, I want to thank everybody for listening and for trusting us with this service. Your unwavering commitment has really helped us to go this far. May God bless all of us, and may God continue to bless American Academy of Optometry. Together, we are building a chapter that stands very tall across borders, collaborative, forward-thinking, and committed to lifting African optometry globally. Warm regards to everyone on this call, and I wish you guys the best today. Thank you.
Thank you, our President Levi, because the African chapter of the American Academy of Optometry continues to grow as a vibrant community of optometrists. Our collective efforts are advancing mostly clinical excellency in Africa. So because of the time, I'm going to just ask the treasurer to just give a summary of the report. Bernardine?
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much, Twani. And thank you, President, for that welcome address and speech. Okay, I'm going to be presenting this financial report of our chapter from the last meeting in 2025. So the report will cover income received so far, the expenditures incurred during the period under review, and the balance that we have. Like you all know, at present, the group has not yet commenced collection of membership dues. Although this was agreed, by members that we should be paying $15 annual dues, but that has not commenced. So all income received has been from individual support and the sale of group pins and mufflers. I want to use the opportunity to sincerely appreciate everyone who has contributed in these ways, who has supported us as individuals, as group, to grow this, may help us meet up with our financial obligations. I would like to say that in the last meeting, we had a balance of $165, which is balance brought forward for this meeting. And then during the conference in 2025, we requested for support, and also to collaborate with Voj in the dinner fundraising event. So we got support from individuals, and I'm sorry I have to mention the names because it's something that we have to encourage. So without those supports, we'll not be able to pay some of our financial engagements, like we pay $100 every year to the academy and all. So for last year, we got $250 support from Professor Digor, and then from the sale of badges and mufflers, we got additional $55. So that gave us a total of $470. So out of the $470, we paid this year $100 for our annual um, dues to the academy. So we currently have a balance of $370. We also got support, African chapter support, paid to Vosh for the fundraising. So we got Dr. Edgar Ekure supported with $1,200. Dr. Emeka Nwoke supported with $500. So that's a total of $1,700 support, which was sent directly to Vosh as part of our support for the fundraising that was conducted last year. So that leaves us with a balance of, as our current balance at 370. So I would like to also call at this meeting on ways, how we can sustain our financial expenditures. And, apart from individuals supporting us, in what ways, how do we plan to raise funds and sustain the chapter? The $500, sorry, the $15 that was agreed, it's been a challenge, to start it off. And how will that actually, go? Because opening of account has been an issue, one burning issue we have. Requirements that in some states like South Africa requires that at least 3 members must be from South Africa for as is leaders of the group be from South Africa for an account to be opened. So that has been a challenge. In Nigeria too, there has also been such a challenge. At some point, we had agreed for the academy to collect the dues for us, but that eventually was cancelled. The academy did not want to go into such arrangement with the chapter. So I think that will be part of things that can be discussed if we have ideas on how we can raise funds for the association, and also how dues, can be paid to sustain the chapter. So that is all that I have now for the report. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Bernardine. Thank you for keeping the chapter afloat, and also for your kind of like going out there looking for funds for us. Thank you for that. The chapter has got, I think as from this year, we do have committees. We have the scientific committee that is headed by Godwin, and we have the social media publicity. We have the admittance and mock committee. We have the publicity committee, but that's the one I've had. We also have women in optometry committees, and all members are encouraged to join and become part of those in the different and be members of these different committees. And due to time, because we want to have our breakout session, I will just ask the chairpersons of the committee just to tell us in 1 minute each the activities that they have done, the activities that have been planned, I'll start with Godwin. 1 minute.
Hello, dear colleagues, President, and the members of the executive. I don't know if 1 minute will be enough for what Mr. President has charged me to present, but just to say that over the year we're reviewing, with the committee, we've coordinated a number of webinars and all of that. And I think the highlight of what we've done over this year is the evaluation of the mentorship program, which President asked me to present. I don't know if there will be time to present that report. Will there be? Okay, 3 minutes. Levi, if you can, if you have, I realize I can't share my screen. So, Levi, if you can just share that, that'll be fine. While he's sharing that paper, the slides. Okay, good. Yes, we decide to evaluate our mentorship program that started about 3 years ago. Next slide, please. And just to note that this paper is being reviewed, is being submitted for review to clinical teacher, a Q2 journal, and is currently undergoing review. And therefore, I want to ask us not to make copies of these slides or report any of the things we're going to talk about until hopefully the paper is reviewed and published. Next slide. Okay. So the rationale was to look at what we've been doing, and according to the previous slide, they say that Socrates said, an unexamined life is not worth living. So we decided to evaluate what we've been doing over the last 3 years to see this so much touted mentorship program. What has been the impact? Has it been helpful in any way? And we decided to design the study to look at what we've been doing. And we used a mixed method using both questionnaire and interviews to interview 125 members who are both mentees and mentors. And the slide you're looking at now, look at the country representative of those who responded to the survey. Next slide, please. So some of the findings we came up was that for the respondents, we have 95 members who are candidates for fellowship, and we are expecting that as we are presenting this now, some of those candidates will be leaving because hopefully at the academy meeting they will probably be obtaining their fellowship. And we have 24 fellows, and that's comprised of 10 fellows who obtain their fellowship before the mentorship program. And since after that, of these 24, 14 persons have obtained their fellowship. That is based on those who responded to the survey. We know for a fact that the number of people who have obtained fellowship since the mentorship program have been instituted is far more than 14. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of the impact or the perception of the mentorship program, let me see if I can make this bigger on my screen. I'll just look at the screen I have here. Okay, so in terms of the perception, the reports are quite interesting. That members found that the guidance was foundationally relevant and supportive. So the mentorship program has been relevant and it's been supportive. And over 85% of the respondents said they will recommend the mentorship program to others. And that goes to speak to the impact it's having and the number of people now signing up for the mentorship program. Next slide, please. Now, in terms of impact, we have seen that just like Liva was talking when in his presentation, how the chapter was actually to make impact. It's not just to organize and all of that. And over 80% of respondents said they felt being part of a Pan-African community. A large number of have had their professional network expanded. And again, we have also begun to encourage people. And as a result of participating in this mentorship program, we have seen mentees collaborating with mentors to publish papers since the mentorship thing. So it is not just the fellowship team, but we're also now engaging in development of members. Next slide, please. And now, like I said, next slide, we said that we use both quantitative and qualitative. So the next slide will show us a bit of the qualitative aspect of what we have done. And there are some teams that came out very strongly talking about mentorship dynamics. We also talked about the barriers, but I think one thing that stand out, if that slide was presented, is that we have had over 300% growth in the African fellows since the mentorship program started. It's been these are things that people reported. There has been a professional transformation. There's been increased awareness and inclusion, and we did a survey some time ago to just look at, and one of the things that people talked about the chapter is that, oh, fellowship is for professors, people only in academia, but we have seen that practitioners, optometrists are now beginning to do all of that, and the impact has been quite remarkable. And the next slide, maybe I'll just begin to round up now. We've talked about that demystification, the support mechanism that we've had, the recommendation for enhancement, the fact that we've been able to look for advocacy to reduce costs for participation and all of that. Now, in conclusion, by increasing the number of African fellows by a factor of 3 in 3 years, the mentorship program has demonstrated that support for candidates for fellowship can remove the barriers that has been identified in a survey to obtain the status of FAO. Now, when this paper is published, you'll be able to have all the juicy details of the impact of this program. But one thing that I need to just stress is that although the initial impetus to do this is to obtain the fellowship, but once people have started this journey of even the mentorship before they obtain the fellowship, the impact and what it's beginning to do is beyond just the title. The fact that it has enhanced, okay, that's the slide I was talking about. It has enhanced professional practice, enhanced their confidence and their patient care. So these are some of the impact that this mentorship program has, achieved over the 3 years that it's been on. Okay, and then on that note, I want to just thank you for listening. We look forward to this paper being published soon, and once it's published, we're going to make it available for everybody to read. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Godwin, for that. And thank you for the good work that you're doing. And also, it shows that the mentorship program that we have is a good program, and not only for people to become fellows, but for people to be lifelong learners and to excel in optometry. Thank you for that. May I also ask, we do have the admittance committee. Mariki, is it possible for you to just 1 minute just talk about your committee, because you are in the admittance committee?
Thank you, Tawani. I think the admittance committee, mainly how we operate is just having a look at the candidates, and they would submit their information to us. We would verify that to make sure that they comply and have all the necessary information available. And then they would be admitted to the WhatsApp platform to make sure that we are dealing with optometrists and their interest in the academy. So this is mainly happens after the academy meeting. And then obviously that is why that's more active during a certain part of the year. And then we are working hand in hand with the mock interview committee meeting as well. And that is short and sweet of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariki. I don't see Damien. Is he online?
Yeah, I think he is.
Damien, can you, for 1 minute, talk about the mock committee?
That Damian or the girl is here too.
Okay, Prof, for 1 minute, for the good work that you are doing with the mock exams.
Hello, everybody. My name is Dugo Chibu. We are having a very fantastic time doing this mock oral exam, and the candidates have been presenting very, very good case reports, and they've been quite engaging, and all the members of the panels that are involved in this mock oral exam have been doing also a very fantastic job. So once again, the leadership of the African chapter, we know you guys are kind of grateful for what we do, and for every member of the panel that are involved in this mock oral exam. Have been doing a lot of sacrifice, a lot of time taken away from family to get this thing done. And I strongly believe that the candidates also appreciate what we do for them. And I am looking for a 100% success rate at the 2026 oral exam. Thank you very much.
Thank you for that, and we appreciate the work that you are doing. It's lots of work, you and your committee, reading through all those reports. Back to school and be a teacher and be an assessor at the same time. Thank you. We have the mentorship committee. Mina, is it Mina Eda? Dr. Eda?
Yes, please.
1 minute. Is she online?
I think her network has been on and off for a while. I'm not sure she is now. She comes in and goes. Yep. But Precious might be either her Precious is one of the members as well. And Chris Ojo is here. The members are all here,
Okay.
many of them.
Okay. Precious, 1 minute for you. I don't know if. And Dr. Chris? I don't see
Yeah,
them.
good day.
Oh, okay. Yes, thank you.
I didn't really, I thought Dr. Mina or Precious would have made a comment on the mentorship, but we can say that I can say on behalf of the committee that for the year running now, the mentorship and mentee program has been successful so far with the number of candidates that have qualified for the oral exam. We hope to put more effort for the next year so that we can get full participation between the mentors and the mentees, and we can have more candidates with 50 points ready for next year. All right. In a nutshell, I think it has been encouraging and impactful so far. That's all I can say on behalf of my committee. I never knew I was going to be the one to make a comment. Thank you, Tuani.
Thank you, Dr. Chris. With me, you must be ready all the time. And also, I just want to acknowledge Dr. Precious. I think she's quiet, but we want to congratulate her as being a winner, the third position. She took third position in terms of the abstract scientific presentation at NOA AFCO meeting. So we are proud of her as for coming third in the third position, and that shows that it's some of the work that the African chapter is doing in terms of research. So congratulations to Dr. Precious. Okay, I think now what we will do, is the time for Q&A. Any questions that are there? Just open the floor for any questions with regard to what has been presented. I don't see anything.
No, I can't see any either from here.
Okay. And I don't see any hand that has been raised. Okay, with that, that will take us to the next session, which is the breakout section. Before we do that, may I ask Prof. Colvin to share with us, to just give us 1 or 2 feedback. Prof. Colvin? Is he online?
Yeah, he's online, but he may not be on the computer now.
It's in the other room. I'll send him a message. So he will. Okay, thank you. I think we can skip that and then go to the breakout room. So I'll take it back to you, Levi.
Yeah, thank you, Tuwani. I think just to explain what's going to happen on that breakout room so people know what we expect to do. I'll
Levi,
quickly
I'm
just...
sorry, I lost the page.
Oh,
I'm on my phone and I couldn't find the tab that I was using for this because I was just listening. I wasn't thing. So I heard you all. Sorry about that.
yeah, go on, Kevin.
No, I don't want to say too much. I know people, it's Sunday evening and Saturday evening and people are rushing. I just want to say that it's very impressive the progress the Academy has made. But more importantly, and I've shared this with some of you, that I always felt very envious of the Americans when I went to Academy because continuing education was driven by practitioners who were on the coalface of serving people. And more, the quality presentations came from the private sector, people in small practices or large practices, people in the military, Veterans Administration, hospitals, etc. And I always thought, like in our setting, we always were mainly dependent on academics. So I think the growth of the African Academy is not about trying to impress the Americans. It's not about showing how good we are to the rest of the world. It's about using this opportunity to build our capacity to be world class and to make sure that when we talk about world class, it's about how we Africanize whatever's happening in the world. Because just remember, we cannot be better Americans or Europeans than others, but we can be better Africans and we can export some of our experiences. And that's what I'm seeing happening with this academy. We are shaping the way the Americans think, which is shaping other aspects of optometry. And congratulations to all of you putting so much effort to make this possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Colvin, for those words of wisdom. I knew that you will give us those words of wisdom, and we are thankful to have you on our platform and also to guide us all the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin, and thank you, Tuwani. Just getting into the breakout section here. So how it's gonna work is we'll open up the breakout rooms. There'll be 5 rooms, and I will I will expect you to choose one room. So it's left for the participant to choose a room to jump in. Please, if you go into a room, we're about 44 of us in this room, so I do expect an equal more like 8 people in each room. If you go into a room and it's crowded, it's up to 10, can one person just jump off and join another room? So we can have some equal spread because it will be difficult to start aligning you into groups with this time left. So please, if you go into a room and there are too many of you, 1 or 2 people, if you think you're up to 10, jump into another room and find where there's space because I want to hear your voice. We don't want the voice to be crowded with the number of people speaking, and then we don't get those real suggestions that will help us move forward. So there'll be 2 questions for each room to deal with, and I want the leaders of each room to take a photo of this or anyone here because you may be in one of these rooms and then you'll be the ones monitoring. So I expect our leadership group to distribute themselves in different groups. Let's not be in one room so we can lead that discussion and make sure that we can capture what's being said, either record it on a mobile phone or make sure you have some form of recording platform that we can keep this so we can look at it later as a chapter moving forward. Now, these are the questions for room 1. If you find yourself in room 1, these are the questions we'll be expecting you to deal with. You're looking at these 3 questions. You're discussing this over the next couple of minutes. How many minutes do we have, Tuani? So Tuani will tell us, I think it's about 20 minutes for this conversation. So you deal with these 3 questions in each room for group 1. And for room 2, these are the questions you'll be looking at. So please do take a screenshot because you wouldn't know which room you're jumping into. Somebody should have this as well available to them. So please do take a screenshot or a photo to be able to discuss this in the rooms that you find yourselves in. For room 3, we'll be expecting you to deal with these questions. You could see the question number 3 is mandatory for all the groups because we want to hear what we're going to be doing going forward. So we do need your input in that. Then for room 4, sorry, it's room 4, what programs or initiative would you like the chapter to introduce? Again, this is something we expect you to be dealing with in that room. So I do have, sorry, so that's forums. So I do have forums. That number was wrong. So these forums will be dealing with each question. So that's room 1. And that's the question for room 2. And that will be the question to deal with in room 3. And that's the question to do with in room 4. So don't worry about this error in numbering. So we'll break into rooms now, and please do join the room. And we'll come back to this platform. We'll have somebody in that room nominated to summarize what your discussions were about. So each room can choose somebody who is going to present that at the end of that session. Any questions before we break out into rooms? Anybody, does it feel like we understand that? Awesome. So I think that's good. So I would open up these rooms now, and there'll be 4 rooms. All right, we'll open the rooms now for everyone. Please join one of the rooms. You have a notification on your phone or your desktop or laptop. Just click on that and you'll be in one of those rooms, please. I will come back here in the next 20 minutes. So endeavor to join a room because this conversation they finish very quickly because there's a lot people want to talk about. So we do expect that we can start that discussion now. So there are 23 people who have not selected a room. Please join one of the rooms. There are 4 rooms open now. However, the guys on the platform, can we please accept the room invite? We need your voices on those rooms. If you can accept the invite, please do so. If you're still on this call, you haven't accepted it, that's what it shows us here. I wanted to contribute richly to that discussion going on the platform. I see Augustine, Egbe, Yvonne, Kelechi, Veronica, Nicholas. Can we accept the invite and join the rooms, please? Before I know it, 20 minutes is gone, so it goes very quickly. You need to join the conversation. And Marika, if you accept the invite, you'll be in the room too to help maybe record the
Okay,
conversation.
I just don't see it on my screen. Where?
I did again. I just moved you to that room now. It should be showing there to accept.
I lost connection.
Okay. No way. I'll move you back now and I'll put you into you see it again come up. Just accept the invite.
Oh, here we go. To room 1. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Thanks. Nicholas, you're not in any of the rooms. You haven't joined. Do you need me to send it back to you? The same with Kelechi. I'll send the invite to you again. If you accept it, then you should be in one of the rooms taking part in the conversation. I'm on the welcome on board. I sent you an invite to accept a breakout room that you can join. Discussions are going on in those rooms. If that's okay, you could see it on the screen. Just click on join and you'll be in that room. Hi, Monday, do you want to go into one of the rooms? We just started a breakout room for conversation. Hi, welcome Olawale. I sent you an invite to join a room on your screen. If you click on that, you can join one of the screens. Yeah, go on Monday. How can I help? Hi, please, we accept the invite to join the rooms. We're having breakout conversations. So if you can join the room, then you'll be part of their discussion. I sent you a link to join, just a join on your screen. Hi, Mary Jane. How you going?
Hi, Levi. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I think
Are
I
you
joined
go?
this meeting exceptionally late.
No, no, no. We are on the breakout room. This is the point where we need conversation. So I was assigned into one room because it's just started like 10 minutes ago. They'll be ending in
Oh,
another 10 minutes. Yeah. So I'll put you in one of the rooms so you can lend your voice to the conversation. Just
Kyoba is
click.
also joining. Kyoba is.
Okay, that's good. I'll see if she joins. Just click on join. You'll be in one of the rooms soon. And edit, welcome on board as well. And editor, put it to one of the rooms so we can start having conversation. They're already doing that as we speak.
All right. Okay, sir.
Awesome. Yeah, welcome, bro. I'll put you
Thank
down. So click on the join link and you'll be on the rooms for conversation. Hi guys, welcome. Hi Kyoba and Nicholas, both of you are here. How you going? Yeah, we're having a conversation in the rooms. So I'll send you an invite to join one of the rooms. It's ongoing now, so you can lend your voice to the discussions that are going on in those rooms. That would be great. So accept the invite to join one of the rooms there. You should be in that room to lend your voice to the conversation. Kyoba and Chris, I've sent you the invite again. It should come on your screen as join. If you join the rooms, you'll be part of that discussion that is ongoing.
the mentorship program has been found to be very impactful and has given participants access to other people outside Nigeria, and they've gained a lot. Some of them have actually met with people that they may have wanted to meet. Somebody gave an example, or somebody that they wanted to meet for research, and then through that they've been able to do that. So we had also people saying that it had been impactful because of the mock interview. That prior to having the mock interview, that they didn't have a focus as to what to look at, but after the mock interview, helped them kind of stay focused and make them a bit more confident in going forward to what they are going to be expecting at the coming up orals. There was also someone that said it was helped optometrists in Ghana, Malawi, Nigeria have been helped with research that they weren't aware of. So collaborative research was some of the things that had been gained. Another member has said that it had helped build relationships. She now had connected with a lot of people across Africa, and it had helped her in considerable ways, both socially and and in other ways. Then AFOS also talked about how it had helped support of its members to attend other professional activities. So the second question was, what program or activities can we undertake? There was, it talked about becoming more visible, where they wanted more visibility for members, where members could collaborate with one another. They also talked about website creation. They also talked about specialization, where knowing where each the specialty of each member, and maybe for people to know to plug in, especially when it comes to research and clinical. So they talked about we also talked about developing a document that we can share. Basically talking about research so that everybody can know areas of research people are interested in, and actually plugging into areas that they want to. Then one of our members also talked about building early career researchers, because sometimes they're already established researchers, so that the chapter should also encourage early
Yeah, we lost Oge here. His network.
Yes. Mariki, can you complete? Finish
I'll
there.
just
Yeah.
quickly complete, and then the last question was, imagine if we have a meeting next year, what would make you say that it was an outstanding year? Obviously, it would be a increase in the number of fellows, and not only fellows, we also mentioned that there would be more diplomats and also more Africans involved in academy structures, and more Africans receiving awards or on the stage. And then also more participation in the oral presentations that there is. And then there was also a request that we lobby for travel grants then for us to be able to attend the academy, because we all know how extremely expensive it is to travel to the US. So that's our side. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariki. Room number 2.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Obi-Wan. I'll be speaking for group 2. So to the first question, which activities of the African chapter have had the greatest impact on you personally and professionally? all the group members had mentioned mentorship, networking, the fact that there is a mock exam that prepares candidates for fellowship, to know what to expect or to get ready for the oral exams. So those were the most common responses. To the second question, what programs or activities can we undertake to create meaningful impact on members? And the response to that was really interesting. So the group had suggested more collaboration, both in terms of research, meetings, networkings, to increase the number of meetings aside from the AGM or the annual AGM, more frequent meetings, so we can discuss short-term goals, and those short-term goals are shared amongst members, so we all know what we're working towards. Also, there's a suggestion of creating a database. I'm not sure if this already exists, Levi, so if it does, please let us know. If it doesn't, then maybe something to look at. A database that has clinical areas of expertise of different members in the African chapter. So if individuals are engaging in research and they need expert opinions or collaboration, they can easily reach out to those individuals for research projects. So a database that has clinical specialty areas of different members. And then last on the second question was having more information about what's next after fellowship. So now you've attended the fellowship, what do you do with it? What are the opportunities? So we need to talk more about that, so people are not just dormant and don't end up realizing it's time to maintain your fellowship points and you haven't done anything towards that. So the third question, imagine we are meeting again at next year's AGM. What would make you say this has been an outstanding year for the African chapter? Again, more collaboration, but this time there was more talk about having more private eye care practitioners engage in CPD lectures, engage in continuing education programs across Africa to share that clinical experience that you have. And there's also the talk about collaboration with other bodies like the GOI, the Global Ophthalmic Institute, where we can have some of the interesting cases that people have put in for their fellowship process or put in for their diplomate process, and share that those interesting cases with schools or students or continuing education bodies across Africa, and that could serve as a blueprint for other developing countries as well. So it's not just that we always borrow what's done outside, but we can serve as a blueprint for others to copy, because if we have this clinical experience from cases from diplomate or fellowship that are really, really educating and really interesting, people can actually learn from real life cases, real life experts in that specific area. So that collaboration should not just come from the academic side, but also from private eye care practitioners who actually see these cases, see these complex cases and manage these complex cases. And also there was the talk about that database, which I mentioned before, on clinical areas of specializations, and then to see more eye care practitioners or more optometrists from Africa having oral presentations at academy. Posters are great, but we want to see more of our presence, talking about our experiences that's unique to us. So that's it for group 2.
Okay, thank you. Then can we have, yes, sorry, can we have room number 4?
Number 3.
Yo, sorry, number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Okay.
So, hello everyone. I'm Gloria presenting on behalf of room number 3. So our first question was, how should the chapter be structured to ensure active participation? So we have different deliberations, and this is a summary. One, there should be smaller working groups or task force to promote better participation. The chapter can create subcommittees from the main committees to address specific tasks. This can increase engagement, participation, and also provide opportunities for more members, to take part in the activities. And then very strong suggestion here that the chapter should give better clarification of roles and specific terms of reference to each committee, as this will guide the committee on their deliverables. Then on the second question, what are the major professional, educational, research, and community eye health activities we should prioritize? So we deliberated on different ones. Now on education, the chapter should find a way to convert CPD, that we get from webinars to units that can be used in countries. And then we also, some suggestion that we should increase hands-on, practical sessions, have hands-on clinical trainings in specialties like pediatrics, diabetic retinopathy, and the likes. And then then they said promote partnerships and collaborations in area of research, which some other groups have mentioned earlier. And on the community level, we said the chapter should carry out outreaches at community levels to reach the underserved. However, there is also the school of thought that some countries are not so open. There are some legislation in some other countries that don't really encourage this. So in that regard, we discussed that, okay, a member raised that not more attention has been given to members in specialties, that we should beam the searchlight on this and then charge those in specialties with the responsibility of promoting community eye health. And then this very striking question came up, that how can the African chapter help those in the diaspora come back to pay it forward and impact the academic space? So, and then we discussed and said the chapter should find a way to harness the expertise of members in diaspora so that they can come back to contribute to the academia. And another suggestion was, which the two groups have also mentioned, that we should create a directory, a database of expertise and specialties of members, because some members are in the academia while some are in private practice. That way we can know how to leverage on one another to achieve other goals. And then the last question, which was, imagine we are meeting 2027. What is that one thing we could do as a chapter to stand out? There are many suggestions here. And the first one is, one of us wants to see the chapter has, come up with 100% pass rate for all the members who go into the program, go into the fellowship program by next year. And then this was also a strong point that we should have more representation of more fellows from countries across Africa. Like someone spoke about Kenya, that she would love to see academia from Kenya participating, another one from Uganda too. So by and large, the bottom line is for us to be able to have more fellows coming out from different countries, in Africa. So the recommendation is that we should look at these countries and see how we can give them a push, motivate them to do more. And another thing is we would like to see more people going into research, and research not just by those in academia alone, but having clinicians, those in private practice, collaborating with the academia to carry out a research that can be presented at the next AAO meeting. So then we also suggested that more persons should be involved in committees to grow activities within the chapter. And so the chapter creates a committee of those in specialties. Yes, so this is also another one, that the chapter can create committees of those in specialties, aside having a directory, so that can give direction to others who may be interested in going into such areas. So basically, it is for the chapter to identify members' area of strength and then come up with this committee so that others who are thinking of going into such areas too can leverage on them and join them to grow as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. Room 4.
Okay. Good evening, dear colleagues. My name is Benchika, and I'm reporting for room 4. The first question we had in our room was, what programs or initiatives would you like the chapter to introduce? And we talked about collaboration, research collaborations, both on individual and group basis. From a scientific standpoint, across different countries, like one of us suggested, an individual can pick up an idea and then throw it out so that interested participants can indicate interest, and from there start off. So not just on we can start from the WhatsApp group and then move out of the WhatsApp group to bigger collaborations. Then the second was on an increase of awareness of the chapter, of the existence of the chapter and the fellowship. And in this, it was suggested that the communications committee would improve publicity about the chapter and its list of activities. And then also, just like the other groups have mentioned, have a list of people with their expertise so that members can leverage on that when the need arises. We also talked about the relationship between mentors and mentees, and we are appealing that there should be more committed and capable mentors, empathetic mentors, and then not just the mentors alone, but that the mentees themselves too should also make really deliberate efforts to have a good relationship with their mentor. So there should be a deliberate relationship between the mentors and the mentees. The mentors should, we know they are giving up their time and everything, but we also appeal that when you decide to become a mentor, you should make out time to be available to your mentees until they are done with their work. The second question was, where do you think we have fallen short, and what challenges do you think limit our growth and engagements? And for us, we said it is finance. It was so obvious when the Committee on Finance talked about the funding. We need to sustain the chapter, and the chapter cannot survive if it doesn't have finance to work on. And we can't just depend on a few members alone to provide the financial resources that the chapter needs. So we need to look at our database and then see how we can get members to from there to contribute financially, no matter how small. By the time we gather it collectively, it's going to make a significant impact on the activities of the chapter. And then the issue of dues that were mentioned, that the chapter needs to work on it and see how that can be implemented. One of us also talked about synchronizing a curriculum in schools across the region, standardizing the education. But Professor Tuani made us understand that that might be difficult. She gave an example that there's a process already ongoing somewhere and it's taking about 6 months and they're not yet done with it, added to the fact that there are differences across regions and legislation. So it might be a little bit difficult. But the suggestion was brought about starting a journal club for people so that members can have access to these to journals that will be available at these clubs, can read them, and this will now help them to improve their research writing and skills. And then we could also try and see if we can establish writing skill workshops to help members improve on their research writing. Now, the third question was, imagine we we meet again at the next year's AGM, what would we do to make us stand out? And it seems to be a common refrain amongst the four rooms that it would be nice if we can have more Africans as fellows, more Africans as diplomats, more research publications from Africans, more papers from Africans, more oral lectures and presentations from Africans, and not just postcards. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the leadership is going to collate all this and put it as part of the strategy. And actually, there was one thing that I wanted also to mention, that among the fellows, we have people who have got clinical investigator certificate. And I think it is important that those people come together and come up with, because with research as such, and research that is applicable, that is, whether it's basic science, whether it's clinical research. But I think I will ask those people who have clinical investigator certificate to start something, to have something going on. Thanks very much. And the other thing, Uganda, we have somebody online. So I think we will have more fellows as soon as possible. Dr. Naomi is from Uganda and she's online. Thanks. There's one thing that I wanted also to highlight. The African chapter VOSH fundraising party last year was a success, and that the funds that were raised are going to be implemented for the SVOS chapters in order for them to carry out research. Thank you. So can we, in the last 5 minutes that we have, can we go to item number 11, which is Anaheim 2026 preparations. Mariki Ugoshi.
I will just quickly, for those who have registered already, we have a African chapter meeting that will take place on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock in the Hilton Hotel. So if everybody can just note that, Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. And then, yeah, so that is Tuwani would coordinate the accommodation. So anybody that is looking to share accommodation or wanting information regarding that, we are looking at accommodation around the convention center. Please let Tuwani know, and we will coordinate that. I think that is where we are currently with that. And then we will have the Vash dinner on Friday evening, or that is what we are looking at currently and planning that. And I think that is where we are currently with those preparations.
Okay. Thank you. Any feedback from anything from Ugeshi? Okay, I don't see her. Then the other thing is that we'll do the same. Remember, we're going to, I think Mariki, you will also start a poll to get the times and dates where people will be coming in to Anaheim so that we can get the rights together to our different hotels. I think that will be done later on once we got the number of those who are going to go to Anaheim. And lastly, I think there was also one of the questions that was asked online that one of the attendees said that just got 50 points last week or something like that. And can they be allowed to be part of the mock exams?
Tuwani, unfortunately not, because we've already distributed those cases to the panel, and that is happening on Sunday. So unless Damien would be able to accommodate him, we are already I don't know. That would be up to Damien, I think, because we've already distributed. I know there's about 3 candidates who, after the deadline, have received their 50 points. So that would be up to Damien to decide if the candidate can be accommodated.
Okay, thank you. Also, as our culture, will also have a WhatsApp group of those who are going to Anaheim. And we also plan to have a social tour before time or, during together, either before or after the meeting. So that's still going to be finalized depending on who is attending. And Maria has also indicated that there's a Voice annual meeting on October the 3rd from 2 to 5 p.m. at the Southern California College of Optometry. I think now it's called Ketchum School of Optometry. Okay. So everybody is invited. Any other announcement? Mariki?
Yeah, to what I would just add that when delegates are booking their flights, they must just please remember that you can either fly into Los Angeles, LAX airport, or to Orange County, which is the John Wayne Airport. And so just remember that 2 different airports. LAX would be about a 50-minute drive to Anaheim. And then the Orange County one would be about a 15-minute transit to Anaheim. So just make sure that when you book your tickets, that you make sure about the airport you're coming into.
Okay, thank you. In terms of the party on Friday, can I ask Maria to just give a brief on that? Maria, are you online?
Yes, I am. Thank you. Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you for welcoming me to your meeting. Yes, we are planning the dinner on October 2nd, which is Friday. It will be, we've been looking for another African restaurant, but in Anaheim, there are not many. So we will, I think, go to a Mexican restaurant, and we are exploring options. So then we can also have enough space to dance. Mexican food is also very nice. And the time of the party will be most probably from 7:30 p.m. to 11 in the evening. So once I get more details on the restaurant we are looking at, I will communicate. And as Tuani mentioned, the funds raised with the dinner will go to support more work from the African SBOS chapter. So we expect, as last year we had 85 participants, so hopefully we will have 70 to 80 participants this year. So once I get firm up with the restaurant, I'll communicate with you to get more details on board, and that will be also, there will be a registration like last year, and it will be a nice opportunity to network and get to know each other more. Thank you.
Okay. Mariki said, will you need a donation again towards dinner this year from each delegate?
Yes. Yes, we will try to, I'm trying to get a nice menu at a reasonable cost. And last year, obviously, we added $20 on top of that. That will be for the fundraising purpose. So yes, last year we had some sponsors that were mentioned by Dr. Bernardine, that cover several of the registration of members of the African chapter. So that is always welcome. So we hope to get that going on this year as well. We also cover the sponsor, the US, the American SBOS chapters, the students who always like to come to the party as well. So if we can get the sponsors to cover the cost of the dinner, that will be great, because then it's just the donation that we can request.
Thank you, Maria. Okay. Thank you for everything that you're doing. Can we go to number 12? Any other business? I think we're left with 2 minutes. Any other business? I don't see any hand.
Yeah, Tuani, just to mention that the WhatsApp group for those attending the academy will open up at the end of August. So the September academy comes early this year. So we use September in the planning and the allocation, accommodation, sharing if there's still need to do that. So do look out for that invite. And again, it's voluntary. You don't have to be part of it. We'll send the invite. If you're going to academy, you'll be eligible to join that group for conversation. That's where we'll share some of the information so we don't disturb others.
Thank you. Just before I ask someone to close with a word of prayer, can somebody propose closure for the meeting for this AGM? None of you want to propose a motion for closure?
I propose the adjournment of this meeting.
Nobody wants to go.
I second the proposition for the adjournment.
Okay. Thank you. So therefore, we're going to ask anyone to close with a word of prayer. And thank you, everyone, for this meeting. I think this has been enriching to each and every one of us. Anyone who would like to close with a word of prayer? Dr. Sani, can you close with a
Yes.
word of prayer?
All right. Good. We thank God for the opportunity to meet today. We ask that all we deliberated on today be a mode to making this organization go further. We ask that he bless all our work, all our earnings. We ask that he continue to bestow his blessing on us and our family, help the profession of optometry in Africa grow, and pray that all of us, we all be better people in all our respective countries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
everybody.
Amen.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.